Okay, so welcome back once again, and again we have one more honorable guest from Armenia with us. So today, I would like to invite Dr. Alisa Dugan from Armenia. She's ESL, EFL, ESP trainer, teacher trainer, global educator, expert in pedagogy and methodology of teaching. So she is a professor. So welcome, ma'am, on this wonderful platform. And over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, good morning, maybe good afternoon in some countries. Also, it was like an honor for me to be here and to share my thoughts and ideas and also my experience in the field of like teaching methodology and pedagogy. Today, I'm going to talk about the CPD, about the teachers' continuing development of their professional life. This will be my topic for today. And also, I'm going to talk about the part what is teacher training and what is necessary in order as a teacher to be able to train to go ahead and also at the same time be able to professionally to go ahead because I think each of us will disagree. We are not in the same place like we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe on the first day as a teacher when we entered the classroom. That's why during the years, it's very important to go ahead to be able to develop, not only just promote our job, our roles in the workplace at school, but at the same time, what we can do like a teacher to be educated ourselves, like a self-education. And first of all, I would like to start with Nelson Mandela's words like education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Because education is the thing, like let's say a magic stick that can really totally change the life of the student, of the professor, of the teacher at the same time. It's like um, endless circle that when you start, you come to the end, you want to start again. Just as a teacher, imagine ourselves when we start a training course or maybe reading something due to the methodological references or maybe literature when we and we try to find something new for us and starting just researching or observing another thing or having a theoretical background, we try to go ahead to input everything into the practical life in order to make it more proficient and also to have more effective teaching and learning at the same time. I think being a teacher, it means to be endless during our whole life, a student and a teacher at the same time. As a teacher, because we facilitate and monitor the students how to work, how to teach them, to be prepared for the future life. And being as a learner, we try to, in some cases, to take into account every detail from the angle of the student. And also, besides, we can just start learning something new to be in the role of the learner, a teacher. It can be just, as Brett Henry says, a good teacher can inspire hope, ignites the imagination, and is still a love for learning. Because a teacher is not just being the person, it can be a scientist, an educator, a creator, moderator at the same time. Just having and making planning, lesson planning. At first, the teacher comes to be like a scientist because the teacher observes, finds interesting games, methods, or techniques in order to conduct the lesson effectively and to have a positive result at the end. Being an educator means how to conduct this lesson and at the same time how to teach the students what kind of method and methodological aspects can be used in order to conduct the lesson. Being a moderator after teaching, we have always like a practical part, and this practical part we are like in the role of facilitator or moderator, and we want to just see what the students can do. and have they understood what we have taught during the lesson or not. And also creator, because every lesson we can just mention it as a creation of something new, because we plan, we conduct, and the result we see it's a creation of something interesting. And having in education, the teacher can have different roles. It can be with the classroom, supporting, like a head of department, assistant head, etc. It doesn't matter what kind of role the teacher has in the classroom. The first role is to teach, to understand, to cooperate, and to collaborate with the students in order to have the result they have planned after conducting the lesson and educational process. And also, all these things, the teacher can work year by year, become more and more experienced one. But how he can do? Certainly with the professional development, because as a teacher, you should not only just teach, but as a teacher, you should be a learner too at the same time. To teach the students to have everything, to do everything in order as a teacher, just to become more and more proficient. And it's our professional development, because anything like any field of science, if we take, in this case, we can see, if we don't learn, if we don't read, we don't actively just participate in different like webinars, seminars, or maybe why not conferences, and why not sometimes even the lesson observations can be a real great example for them for their development, because maybe I'm a teacher of high school, but I can observe a lesson of primary school teacher. And why not? I can take some kinds of games or techniques that is used in primary school, but I can just adapt them and use later in my work. But already in high school, this is another, I think, proficiency of the teacher, how flexible the teacher is in order to adapt everything. And professional development, in this case, it makes like knowledge, skills, and abilities. What, let's say, theoretical background we have, what we can read. Maybe I can read a book, a methodological book, how to learn, let's say, some aspect of the grammar, or maybe listening or speaking. And later I try to use them, and these skills help me to practice them in the classroom. And also it can be like usage of modern teaching system and types. First of all, 21st century is known as technological, like say revolutionary like century, because there are a lot of technological input and a lot of technological aspects which allow us to go ahead, to know more about these parts and how these skills can be used in order to make our lesson. Like something when we can tell, and something when students can watch using or just practice the activity, like on the board, and at the same time when they can practice different kinds of tools. For example, I can just revise the vocabulary of the topic through the handouts, and at the same time I can just learn. Let's take learning apps, this tool, and through it I can just give my students opportunity to do it with the usage of technological tools. And it's also very important to know about to form professional culture and of methodological thinking and training, because it's one thing we can read a lot of books, and another thing how we can improve ourselves. After reading the books, are we going to use them, or after participating in the webinar, what it has really given me? Is it going to be like something useful? Have I taken any kind of tips from this webinar, and how am I going to use them in my later, let's say, further development of my like professional life, or how can I use them in the classes? Because we can read, we can see, we can watch, we can listen, a lot of things, but it's not every time when we have an opportunity to just use them, or there is something that really will be just helpful for us to use them later. That's why professional culture is very important one. How after some kind of trainings, or maybe some courses, attending some courses, how our attitudes have changed, or how has it like a psychological impact on our thinking? Or am I still going to be like to conduct my lessons as traditionally as I have used to do, or am I going to have something new and novelty in my lessons? This is very important, and I think the most maybe significant result we expect to have after having such kind of like professional development courses, webinars, and also how we reflect ourselves about it. And having different kinds of, we have different aims, and also at the same time, different kinds of rituals, how it can be. Am I satisfied with my job? Do I value what I get, or what objectives, what aims, what work conditions, and also everything that we can just take into account from different angles of the same question, because maybe something positive can be, maybe a teacher can face a difficulty or a barrier while teaching. And all these CPD, it just tends to help the teacher to see the same problem from different points of view, to see and also observe the problem and find not only just one strategy that can be helpful for her or for him to teach later and to improve the teaching system, but also how can it just look like from different angles. And in this case, it helps the students and also the teacher to work out good strategies for teaching. And when we say teacher training, first of all, we want to gain new knowledge and skills. We want to use a new technologies and adding to our teaching process. And also, first of all, it means professional growth, self-studying, and lifelong education, because the teacher can't just get a BA bachelor degree or maybe master degree, or in many cases also, why not PhD? And you say, I have my diplomas and certificates in many spheres. No, it's important to have your professional growth, how to use them. Because one thing, you can theoretically very well know all the rules of the, let's say, grammar, but you can't use it. You can't get your learners understand what you mean. This is another problem. That's why in this case, professional growth and self-studying is very important, to be in the role of learner, to be. And the whole process is going to be like, as I have told, endless one. We start with the training, we try to go to professional development growth, then we have motivated and experienced teacher with new skills and technological just impact. And as a result of it, it's going to be like regular training to get acquainted with new teaching methods and approach. As you see, it's endless, because when as a teacher, I just complete my course, so like training, I see that, oh, while having the training, I have met such kind of concept. I don't know about it. Maybe I will start again and again, teacher training, and the whole process you go through it. And teacher training is going to be like a process of education and skill development that the teacher trainees undergo as a formal teacher and educational process, like a process not only just teaching but also learning at the same time. And in many cases, such kind of courses, qualifications that teachers undertake and receive in order to promote in their profession. And at the same time, it helps them to go ahead and have a lot of opportunities to make their teaching process more flexible one. Teacher development can include, first of all, to join different kind of professional programs, like it can be webinar, it can be sessions, or even, as I have told, lesson observations. Additional college courses, maybe if the teacher has a bachelor degree, maybe the teacher will be included in master degree studies. It will also not only just have to get them, but also formally to have a degree promotion to educational. Reading necessary literature and journals, because in many cases we need. Recently, we have a lot of international journals where you can meet really practical articles on different topics, how the authors have done different kinds of researches, what includes, how they come to this conclusion, and they are practical knowledge and skills we get it. And also visiting different schools and educational centers, because you can go not only observe the lessons in your school, but also you can go to college, to university, to another school, and this team collaboration will bring not only you learn, but also be able to observe and know more. And also attending the conferences and training sessions, because this helps the students to, the professors and teachers to get more about the practical field. And in many cases, when we aim to train the students, and at the same time we train the teachers, because the teacher has the same role as a teacher and as a student at the same time. We usually pay attention to the techniques, approaches in all many cases, also making importance, first of all, like what is 21st century skills, how we can develop critical thinking, collaboration, teamwork, metacognition, and many such kind of skills that really for is necessary for student-centered education. Because in this case, teacher is like a facilitator, not the traditional education where the teacher may speak a lot of time, but we try to reduce time. Maybe 90% the student will be in the active role and 10% goes to the teacher, because the teacher is an observer, facilitator, moderator in this case. And all such kind of things like help the teacher to grow. Usually when we have a teacher training, what content it goes? First of all, to set positive atmosphere, then basic teaching skills like methodology, and also synchronic and asynchronous teaching, because nowadays the online, especially webinars, conferences, teacher trainings are very popular. And being at home, you can attend any kind of qualification courses or maybe webinar or trainings of the professor of the maybe center you want to be without just visiting. This is very important. And also nowadays it's very important to pay attention to the practice, because practice is the most interesting thing. And what gives this? No one understands the national curriculum, be able to plan and prepare for lessons, set pupils' learning objectives, have strong classroom management skills, and also know how to teach. This is very important, especially in some cases when we have with special educational needs and disabilities students. And also beware of assessment, because nowadays it a little bit looks like another way when we had many years ago. And to come to a conclusion, we can say that teaching development, it's not just to learn new skills, to practice these skills, but teacher development, it takes everything, starting from the theory, going to the practical, then how we can use it practical, and after usage, how we can reflect and get the results for them, and also how we can reflect to work out good strategies to make the educational system more productive and more effective, and why not more flexible, both for students and for teachers too. And my advice will be always just read, practice, and learn again and again. Not be afraid of mistakes and not be afraid of working with your students on the learning path, because this will make you stronger, more effective, more efficient, and also at the same time just remarkable teacher in your students' eyes. This is important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful sharings. And it's really important. Trainings are really important for teachers also. Say, learning is a lifetime process. So, as you are also teacher, and I would like to ask one question for you. So, what what are the habits or qualities? Can share one qualities or habits. What are this really important for teachers to grow in their field?
First of all, to be educated, to learn, never stop learning because this makes the quality of their professional development and also reading, practicing, and being a part of their students' life, be involved in, not just to enter the classroom, conduct the lesson, and then go out. First of all, be positive as it shows before entering, like have a smile on your face and enter, despite the fact maybe it's the last lesson, you are too tired, you don't, you have maybe has problem or something. No, teacher is the one when the students are looking at the door, when the door opens, the teacher comes in. They always like the child expects something. How is it, for example, when we were a child, we were always expecting parents bringing us something sweet, some sweets or something like it. The students are also, they are always looking forward to seeing you, expecting some knowledge, practice some new skills and abilities. And every time when you input, when you bring a new game, a new technique, a new approach, they always know that teacher is innovative, teacher is going to work out something new for them. It will never be afraid of, in this case, they are not afraid of being mistaken or making mistakes because in this case, the teacher will correct them in a correct way, in a proper way. This is important. That's why never just stop learning and never just stop just dreaming and having this magic stick in your hand because while teaching we learn and while learning we teach. This is the most, I think, significant quote of every teacher's life. Teacher.
Thank you, Martin, for everyone. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you for
much.
joining once again, and it's really amazing session. So again, we will connect with another speaker. Till take care, great day. Thank you.
Thank you.